I want to start with always what my favorite question is to ask you. How's life?
It's great. Yeah, I mean, it's different in really beautiful ways. Been a tough year, to be off, to be injured, to be rehabbing, but a lot of good lessons in the meantime. Glad I'm still playing, glad I'm still here, glad I'm moving the way I want to move. And, the older you get, the more gratitude you have for the people along with you on the journey. And there's a lot of great people that came alongside me during some tough times as I was frustrated and heartbroken and disappointed, and just kind of kept my spirits alive. And once I kind of crossed the threshold of walking and moving and being able to walk up steps, life got better. And I'm really enjoying Jersey. I'm enjoying my team. We got a great fan base, hungry fan base for sure. But it's been a lot of fun.
It's really cool that you're here. And I was thinking on the drive here to Jersey about the first time you and I met, and it was in California. I was in my late 20s. You were in your mid 20s. And now somehow Aaron Rodgers this year is going to turn 41. How did that happen?
Yeah, we both got old.
I know.
Yeah.
It's nuts. We were babies.
It's weird, I was sitting next to Braylon Allen, who's 20 years old. He's half my age. I turned 41 before he turns 21. He can't even legally have a drink. And I'm growing gray hair on my chin. But I'm real thankful. It's been a beautiful journey. And it's not about really how you start, how you finish. It's about the time you spend in it, doing something you love, getting paid incredibly well, being part of special groups, special organizations, special group of men and women, all pulling in the same direction, trying to inspire and entertain a fan base that's so invested in what you're doing. It's the greatest life I could ask for.
So when someone like Nick says that to you during that great life you're having, is that fun for you, or does it become annoying?
No, I love it.
You like it?
Yeah,
Why?
I do. Because I didn't get that opportunity. If I had been, I kind of did, but in different sense. I got to play with, after Montana and Young retired and Barry Sanders retired, my favorite player is Brett Favre. And day one, I'm in the same locker room with him.
Right.
So, but it's kind of weird when it's your teammate to be like, "Yo, bro," and Brett, Brett's like, he's so laid back and Southern, like it wasn't a time for that. But I got to play against a lot of my favorite players growing up, which was awesome. I got to walk the length of the field between third and fourth quarter in 2005 with Deion Sanders, who played for Atlanta, and back then Atlanta was in San Francisco's division. It was kind of like the hated Falcons, the Rising and Deion and those guys, and Jerry Glanville, and then he comes over to the good side and wins the Super Bowl. And so Deion was always a favorite player of mine. And on the field at the same time was Dale Carter. And people forget about how good Dale Carter was. He was a fantastic player. But he played on the Chiefs team. And when Montana got traded to the Chiefs, I was naturally a Chiefs fan and a Niners fan. But I remember Dale Carter, and it's just those moments where you pinch yourself and go, how special. You're living out your dreams. So many people have dreams and goals and aspirations, and maybe never reach them or only reach a part of them, but I got to fulfill all of them. And now you just kind of reopen the dream journal and you get to do even things you were past your wildest imagination at 20 years old.
And I've talked to a lot of your young teammates, and they like being around you, and they're really comfortable being around you. It's a hard thing to do. You've seen the Steve Buscemi meme, the "How do you do, fellow kids," with the skateboard, right? Yeah. What is the secret of hanging with a 21-year-old or a 20-year-old and making them comfortable, like without going full Buscemi?
I think it's the remembering you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you speak. And then create an environment like in the locker room where that's the fun corner to be. And we had it last year. We got it again this year, where it's like there's some old heads in the back corner. And the conversation starts. You see the guys start to come over a little bit. They're interested. They want to know what it's all about. They want to know not just what we're talking about, but deep down they want to know, how do you stick around the league for a long time? So it's finding those fun opportunities. I always tell guys, it's like Michael Scott says about inside jokes. He always wants to be a part of one. You have to have those inside jokes with your teammates. It creates this connection point between two people that I think is so important, whether you're number 1 on the roster or number 69 on the roster in the P squad. You got to be able to connect with all your teammates.
Well, I like that the Jets don't have a mean dad corner, but they do have an old head corner.
We do have an old head. Yeah.
I live for this stuff. So lay it out for me. Is it like you and Morstead, and what movies and music
Morstead's on the other side. Yeah, he's on the other side.
Oh, he's not.
Tyron's next to me.
Oh, great.
I got Tack McKinley next to me. Tack's a fascinating guy, really interesting guy, wild story. Yeah. But that's how you connect with these guys. I mean, the beauty in an NFL locker room is 69 guys from all over the country, with crazy backgrounds and crazy stories. Some guys come from privilege, some guys come from the gravel, from nothing, and everybody in between. And I love it. But yeah, the conversation starts getting going, and then you never know where it goes.
Well, I think you've become a hero to the 40-something set that I'm part of, because you now are like our rock stars who are still doing it. Vedder and Hetfield and Grohl and our guy Stapp, like still selling out arenas. They're silver-haired too, still kicking ass. What do you like about still rocking and still playing football in your 40s, like the football part of it?
It's just the unexpected. You know, they don't expect you to still be playing, to be able to move a little bit. Now, it changes the way you prepare for sure. You know, like in my 20s, I could eat a bag of Starburst jelly beans and, you know, have, you know, a couple cheeseburgers from Five Guys and never think twice about it. Now you got to be a little bit smarter about what's going in and how you spend your time. You know, it's constantly like thinking about your body, working on your body, make sure you get stretched out. You know, there's years where I wouldn't even throw a ball in pregame warmups.
Really?
You know, in the pregame warmups with no pads on. I would just be in the locker room messing around and then go out there, throw like 10 balls, be like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, it seems natural. Now I got to get out. I got to get loosened up. You know, I got to get the blood flow a little bit. But I love that. I love the chance to like beat back Father Time and to continue on this and to play the way I want to play.
How's that fight going? Like, who's winning? Like, how do you feel right now?
It's a stalemate right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Just trading blows?
Well, just because of the way we started, we had 3 games in 11 days. Like, I needed that 3-day weekend. I needed that break because that was a lot on the body.
The thing that's tough about you is you have to continue this fight against Father Time, and there's all these other fights and all these other things you have to tend to. Right now, what is more challenging for you? You've been through so many things. Is it continuing to develop chemistry with the star wideout, or is it maybe continuing to develop trust with the head coach?
It's really neither of those. You know, I don't worry about those things. You know, my focus is on what it takes to win, and that's the preparation each week. There's a lot of stories, naturally, because we're in the New York market, that most of the time don't have any legitimate legs.
Really?
And they're just talking points for outside the building, whether it's me pushing Salah, you know, which is something he loves doing. He loves pushing his guys. But they didn't show the post-game hug that we had and the I love yous. And, you know, I think that's the way it goes. You know, when we're up, and I said it after San Fran, we're going to win our next 2, and then everybody's going to love us up. And they loved us up for 10 days, and then we laid an egg. You know, now the whole world's come crashing down. That's this market. It's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. It's the beauty in it because there's so many lessons in that. But it's also a challenge if mentally you're not able to stay even keeled and handle the ups and the downs of a season.
I heard from someone in the New York media, and you can tell me if this is true or not, that Monday morning you walked into Salah's office, cleared off his desk, and said, I love you, but you're going to take my cadence from my cold dead hands, Bob. And then you walked out. Is that true? I heard that happen. I have sources, Aaron.
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
No?
I might have been blacked out for that. But.
You mentioned the fans. I want to talk about Jets fans. You became the first player this year to reference Aesop.
Yeah.
Which I just love. I got some Brothers Grimm for you.
Okay.
Chicken Little.
Yeah.
You know Chicken Little? You know the story?
The sky's falling.
Constantly. The sky's falling. That's the Jets fans. They're hardwired for paranoia. They're addicted to misery. The sky was falling after the Niners game. The sky's falling after the Broncos game. Do you feel that stuff from the fan base?
I mean, I sense it, yeah. I do. We just feel the general attitude, you know. It's they're riding a roller coaster, you know. They're at the top of the Grizzly and, you know, on Great America. And in that, you know, at some point, it's going to crescendo, it's going to get to the crest. And, yeah! Well, we got to ride that with a happy face. That's the season. The season is there's some high points, and there's some points where you feel like, am I going to be okay? Yeah. But you're going to hit the bottom of that and start climbing again, and you're going to be okay. I think it's a great analogy for the season.
On the roller coasters, there's also a photograph that gets taken. In the Broncos game, there's an image of you on the bench at the end of the game. You're very emotional. You lost. You got a towel over your head. And the #1 internet joke about that is, and that's the moment Aaron Rodgers officially became a New York Jet. And those are from Jets fans, like self-loathing Jets fans. That's the picture on the roller coaster. Can you cure that? The same old Jets disease? Do you think you personally can cure it?
I don't know. I think it takes a collective effort. You know, it takes all of us, including the fan base, to just have a little belief. I also understand what this organization has been through. And we're going to have to win consistently to kind of start to turn that tide.
Mm-hmm. I have one more question for you, and I want to shift gears dramatically, but I know you're one of the few guys who can do that, and I'm serious.
Yeah.
This is going to be the 5th presidential election that you will go through in your career.
Oh, wow.
The fifth one. How do you handle that as a team? And what is the best way, especially that week, to stay united as a team through something that could be so divisive?
I think one myth about the locker room is that there is major divides. There's I think, an ingrained, natural appreciation for all of the things you bring to the table. And that's why you can get along with a guy from Mississippi,
Sure.
Chico, California, New York, Columbus, Ohio, whatever it might be. Naturally, there's some appreciation for the background. And when there's a prayer in the locker room, it isn't like a big deal for somebody who's atheist or Buddhist or Muslim to like, I gotta be away from this. You know, when there's opinions about politics, people don't get shut down. I think in society outside of the locker room, if you disagree with me, immediately we have to have a problem.
Yeah.
And there's no way of going, okay, Kyle, you believe in this and I believe in this. And maybe we don't agree on that, but it doesn't change the fact that I can respect your character, you and I can be friends. In the locker room, there isn't that same divide that's in society.
Sounds great.
There's an appreciation for all types of beliefs, all types of thoughts. We all have each other's back. And I think that's when a bad locker room gets divisive. Good locker rooms appreciate all walks of life, where you come from, what you believe in. And maybe you and I don't see eye to eye on that, but it doesn't change the fact that I got your back. I'm gonna stand by you. I'm gonna back you up in the locker room, on the field, in the media. And I think that's the beauty in a team, especially a team that's really tight-knit.
You think you have one of those locker rooms here?
I think we do. I think we do. It takes a combination of the overall structure that's in place and then releasing the control into the hands of the leadership. And I think we have good leadership on this team. We have the right combination of the old heads who've kind of been there, done that, the young guys who are real hungry, and those middle guys who are so important, who are stepping into their stardom and are starting to show that leadership ability that's innate in anybody who's on the way up into superstardom. So I like where we're at. We're going through adversity. It's a long season, and hopefully, we'll just take this thing one week at a time. I hate cliches, but the fact is you got to be tunnel vision in this league. And I know our fans and organizations sometimes can get away from that, but the players, we got to stay tight and stay tunnel vision.
You're entitled to a cliche every once in a while, dude.
One. I
Nobody's better at
just
this.
one. I just one.
One is fine.
Yeah.
Dude, I really mean it. It's awesome to see you, and thank you for
too.
doing this.
Thanks.